We are relying too much on this frontal lobe that has evolutionarily developed faster than any other system in the world in history. We're only thinking about thinking. We're not thinking about how it is that our body is feeling. When you think about every other species, the most important thing is how their body feels. We don't have a way to quantify the energy that we take in, put out, whatever. It's because we don't have the tools to quantify it that we don't know how to speak about it.
Often what we hear is what makes us special as human beings is our frontal lobe, right? It's this ability to cognate, is our ability to think clearly and make decisions, have executive control, not just be moved by our feelings. So why is that particularly important to you?
Because we are relying too much on this frontal lobe that has evolutionarily developed faster than any other system in the world in history. The frontal lobes have developed in a couple of thousand years. The rest of our systems have evolved over millions, really, of years when you go back, depending upon what evolutionary model you believe in, that go back millions of years. So for this to be developed so fast, what's happening is it's overdeveloping the more primal areas in our brain. And the word I want to use, squashing them out. So we're forgetting about feeling. We're only thinking about thinking. We're not thinking about how it is that our body is feeling. When you think about every other species, the most important thing is how their body feels. What do they hear? Is there a predator? Yeah, are they hungry? Those kinds of things. Those are really important things for survival, but also for emotional survival. And we put too much emphasis on thinking rather than feeling.
How do you determine that we are doing that too much? What is the assessment for too much versus not enough?
There isn't. There is not any, we can't quantify that. That's one of the biggest problems that we have in psychology is that we don't have tools to quantify our feelings. We can use the back inventories, we can use the anxiety, this and that and the other, and people can mark down what they think, but we don't have a way to quantify the energy that we take in, put out, whatever. It's because we don't have the tools to quantify it that we don't know how to speak about it in a way that is tangible, I should say. I can't answer you I can't sterminize that is how we used to call it with Barry by showing you data, but I can say that I think we all, I hate these things. We all can speak, we all can speak to, we all can speak to what's going on in our world right now and how anxious everybody is and how hard the world is to everybody. And so that's a global perspective, but I think we are forgetting that we need to look at it from a more individual perspective and teach ourselves resilience. Our frontal lobes are not going to teach us resilience. We have to learn that through our bodies.
No, that makes a lot of sense to me. What really struck to me when you initially brought this up was the distinction between, oh, I'm feeling tired, and you're like, oh no, that's not a feeling. And that almost surprised me when you said that. I was like, oh, you're actually right, though. You're talking about the actual physical sensations in my body versus the label that I have created about those associations. Yeah.
So if you say I have a stomach ache, what does a stomach ache feel like to you? It might be something completely different to me. It might be, for me, it might be my muscles feel really tight and I can't breathe properly. For you, it might be I just feel all this gas or butterflies or whatever. It's a different experience. So, it needs to be, from my perspective, I'm not a clinician anymore, but when I was, this is what I would do. Now I teach people who are wanting to be clinicians in this area to look for those kinds of things, to teach people to recognize what their body is experiencing, even if there aren't words for it. I love that Joni Mitchell said, laughter and crying, it's all the same release. If I laugh, I feel it in my gut. If I cry, I have the same exact feeling in my gut. It's exactly the same feeling, but my frontal lobe is telling me, right now you're happy or right now you're sad. So it's understanding that physiological experience that is where biofeedback and neurofeedback become really valuable to someone who wants to understand themselves better from that perspective.
Yeah.